All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Wiseguys NFL Best Bets Show. This is week 4. We are back, and I've got the sports betting legend, the GOAT himself, Anthony Cuz Gargano, with me. I am so excited. I can't wait to break down week 4 with you and talk football with you throughout the season. It's happening.
My main man, Geekus. How are you, brother?
Oh, man, I'm doing well. Killing it.
I know. Listen, I mean, I'm just glad to be hanging out with my boy again. That's all.
Same here. Like, the schedules have been crazy, so we're calling this the drive, the drive home, so to speak. We're going to talk some the Friday drive. We're going to talk some bets. We'll break it down, and let's just jump right into the slide. I mean, how was your bet? Last week you gave me an awesome bet. I mean, you guys don't know, but Anthony's been texting me the bets. Like, I got the pizza bets coming in every weekend. I'm like, yeah, Packers.
Okay. I tell you, Indiana. I love Green Bay all week. I thought Green Bay all week was going to be the move. But the other game I loved was Indianapolis against Kansas City. I thought they could win that game outright. I thought that was a big one. We had a few last week. I think we had Cleveland, I know. So we had a bunch of them, man. Listen, I got a couple this week that I love. I can't wait to give you.
That I'm excited about. And we nailed the pick I gave out on your show yesterday. Little Bengals action last night. The exhale.
The Bengal Tigers.
Oh.
They nailed it.
I said that we got that Miami Dolphin. You taught me about the exhale game. I learned that from Cuz. No one else. He said, and all I was thinking the whole week is, after Miami beats Buffalo, they're just like, all right. Of course, the Tua thing was horrible to see.
Yeah, it was bad. We all love the game, right? Like, that's the one thing that connects all of us is that we love the game. And when they showed Tua in those fingers, oh my God! I mean, right away, started praying. I mean, that was sad.
As an MMA fan,
okay.
Yeah. As an MMA, I've seen that before with the fingers. That is something. Yeah, I've seen it. Brain trauma. It's like nerve damage. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to talk any more about it, but I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's all. So let's get right into, and I'm excited for some pizza bets, everything. Let's talk NFL week 4. Obviously, we've got a London game. We've got a game in London.
The 9:30 start is the best. 9:30.
We're watching football.
4:25. 8:25, and it's a great Sunday of football, man.
It messes me up because I got shit to do, content and lineups to put in. I have a hard time watching that early game because of all the things I'm doing.
Well, I love
lead up. Yeah, but of course. So we got Minnesota, New Orleans.
I love the early game to bet.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Let's look at this game, right? Vikings, Saints. Vikings are 3-point favorites here. Not enough. I want to hear your opinion, but only 3 points. They're out in London. 41.5 point total on the game. How do you see it going, Cuz?
I love Minnesota.
Okay.
All day long. All day long, I love Minnesota. Here's the thing. First of all, Andy Dalton's going for New Orleans. But I think you're getting Minnesota off a little bit of a discount. See, that's why I love the Vikes. I think the reason why the line's 3, there's no home field advantage, right? So they're just going to go with, they're looking at Minnesota and they're with, oh, look, 2-2-1 teams. We'll give them 3. That people looked at them and they had to come back against Detroit last. Detroit is a good team. Trust me, I love Minnesota. I think it's a great play this week. I think Jefferson's going to put on a show. Cook is playing, and against Andy Dalton, I love Minnesota. In fact, I want you to parlay my 2 favorite games, and Minnesota is one of them.
I love it. I love that call, and I totally agree. So we're on board on the Saints with Andy Dalton. They can't score with Winston.
Yeah. Here's the one thing, and I just want to go over some of our verbiage. So we like talking about pizza bets. Pizza bets is like cost you $15 for a pizza. You can play that and mess with the line. All right. So Minnesota would qualify. So you get Minnesota -3. That's your bet, right? Your bet is either you lay 3 with Minnesota. You can play money line. I think you just lay the points. right? You get Minnesota minus the 3. And then afterwards, you could play a few other series of bets. Like, so if you're betting $100, you put 10 Minnesota minus 10, right? And then you're going to get bigger odds. So you can mess around with that stuff.
So the pizza bet is bet less money, but work those odds even more. Take the alt lines. And I'll tell you what I've done with your pizza bets, because I got my own version of it. The minute Cuz is giving me a pizza bet, I get extra confident in the main bet. So now I start using that as a parlay piece with other ones. Like, I want to build around that game. Like last week, like I said with the Packers, I'm building around this game now. I'm Packers. Now I'm parlaying Packers with a couple other teams. I'm building around that. So this is a build around bet. Vikings minus 3. I love it. Hopefully the players won't party too hard in London at the pubs, because that's been a problem on these trips to London. They're out, having a good time. It's, it's like a vacation for them, and then they forget they're playing football on Sunday. All right, let's move on.
That's what you would do.
Yeah, I would. I would see Big Ben. Actually, the food is terrible in London. It's not for me.
The food's not good, but the pubs are fun.
Yeah, I'm a pub guy, but I'm a food guy more than anything. I'm keeping it real. I'm a food guy. Like, you're giving me bangers and whatever. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want bangers. And I don't want weird beans.
You're in Euro soil and you want food. You got to keep going. You keep going another 1,000 miles.
Yeah, the Indian food. It's like a combination of Indian food and British. It's just gross. I'm not interested in that cuisine in London. All right. Next game, and this is another interesting one because Houston has been covering the spread, but we got the Chargers. They're heading out to Houston to take on the Texans. The Texans are +6 in this one. The Chargers just lost Joey Bosa. Not good. That is their best player.
Yeah, and you're also, obviously, you got to worry about Herbert. They're coming off of that horrible loss to Jacksonville. And I got to tell you, I don't like this game at all. I know a lot of people are looking at it for survivor pools, all this stuff. I'm not trusting the Chargers until they get right. So until I see them play a couple quality games in a row, because listen, they're a really good team. I mean, and they're going to be there. But right now they're banged up, and Herbert scares me. I mean, coming off the fractured cartilage, he did not look like himself. So to me, you stay away from it, and you stay away from the Chargers until they put together back-to-back good games.
Yeah, I mean, the side that I would have, if I was going to bet this one, I'm looking at the Texans. They've been covering the spread. They're keeping the games close. I feel like they're not a bad team. I feel like they're decent, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're below decent. But like, again, we're going to talk about some games. Like, I don't like the card. I like a handful of games, and I'm going to be judicial about them. I'm not going to play every game, and that's always a recipe for disaster.
I totally agree with that approach. I don't like losing, so I do try to only take the best. I'm not one of these bettors that, we have definitely some people in Sharp that will play every single edge that they can find. That's a style that I don't use. I like to win, so I'll bet the edges, but I need to feel really confident I'm going to win just about every bet, or that I'm in a good position. So let's move on. This one's got the total that's been bet down heavily. It started at over 50 or 50 points on the game total. Seattle at Detroit. And it's been bet down a little bit. We've got a couple of interesting things going on. Detroit, the big thing is losing the sun god, Amon-Ra. Losing Swift. Not good. Their two best players are not going to be in for this game. And on the flip side, Seattle's just been a little surprising. I don't know what else to say about them. Geno Smith, less horrible than I think we thought he would be. But they still stink.
Yeah, I would still, to me, it's Detroit or no bet still. I know a lot of people are going to look at it and go, oh my God, no sun god, no Swift. You talked about Jamal Williams over the week of it on Thursday. In fact, earlier this week, I square play for DFS. I think you got to go. To me, I still like Detroit, well coached, a better team. I'll still, because I still love the fronts. Like when I analyze NFL, I always go inside out, and inside out they're both on both their O line and their D line. They're so much more improved, and they're better than Seattle. So I would say it's Detroit or no play for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I can't bet on Geno, but I don't think I'm betting this game either. I don't like the Detroit side missing all those weapons. I've also found little reasons for concern with Jamal Williams. Of course I do, because that's what I spend my whole week doing, figuring out why what I think is a great play might not work, and then scaring myself off of it. So I'm a little worried there. But in general, yeah, I think this is one to stay away. We just don't know how Detroit's going to look with their weapons gone. So it's probably better not to screw with it. All right, next game we've got the Titans taking on the Colts. 43-point total. Colts at home in this one, 3.5-point favorite. Titans have been kind of all over the place this year, and the Colts have just not looked like very good at all. Offensive line, not as good as it's been. Matt Ryan still hasn't shined.
Yeah, I after last week's, I loved Indianapolis last week. It was such a spot game. You're my witness. I told you.
Yeah, you did. You called it. You nailed it.
I thought Indianapolis would. I liked them with the points. I liked them outright. I just looked at it. It's just it was a perfect storm for them. I don't like where Tennessee's at, but to me, it's Tennessee or no play. I can't back Indy as a favorite. I don't trust them. Everything you said is right. They're still not good off. They don't have enough weapons other than Taylor, and I know Pittman's back. They need him, but I would either go Tennessee or no play. Most likely no play.
It's wild that Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor are in that same game together, and no one really wants to touch either of them this week. I just don't know how it's going to go. No one wants to touch either of those studs. I do think one of them is going to have a good game there, and probably whoever's team is winning is probably the guy that's doing it. So it'll be interesting. Titans, the Colts need the offensive line to work. Matt Ryan is not a guy who can play under pressure like what they're doing. All right, next up.
Also needs all the weapons. I mean, he's got no weapons other than Pittman. Who you got? I mean, look who you got dueling. I mean, you got no tight end. They're a mess.
They got some issues. They have some. I mean, obviously Jonathan Taylor, Pittman looks good. Paris Campbell.
But I'm talking about their outside weapons.
Yeah.
Paris Campbell. These guys blow.
I was not a big fan of the Pierce that they drafted, the rookie Alex Pierce. Not a huge fan of him coming out either. So yeah, they but it's also, listen, Matt Ryan's old. The guy needs time. He's not evading anyone.
No.
And they had one of the best offensive lines, but it's just deteriorated a little bit, and they're getting older, and you know how it is.
Yep.
It's like you and me. We're not as spry as we used to be. All right.
You're not deteriorate. Come on, Geekus.
Every day, a little less. Cleveland at Atlanta. Two interesting. Both teams are really surprising this year. Atlanta's getting the +1 here. It's pretty much a pick 'em though. 47.5-point total in this game.
I like Atlanta.
Like Atlanta here. Atlanta's run defense not very good.
Yep. I know. Everybody's gonna look at it and go, "Oh my God, Atlanta can't stop the run." And I got those two backs. They're gonna be all over Cleveland. It's a trap game. I love the Falcons.
All right. I'm going right with it.
They will win the game. I like Atlanta in this one. And I think they're going to win this thing by 7-10.
Ooh. Okay. So we're pizza betting this one. Little alt line.
Yeah. Yep.
Is Marcus Mariota going to deliver a fantasy performance worthy of rostership this week?
Yes, I believe he will. I believe Atlanta. He's starting to get a little connection with Pitts. Last week was good to see, right? He's got a little something. And then the mystery of all mystery. And you talk about him every week when you deal with all the running backs. But come on.
Cordero?
Yes.
Never know.
He's an amazing story, man. He is. He's a great story. I love Atlanta. I think Atlanta wins this week.
Cordero Patterson is in competition with Joe Mixon last season for showing up in the most Millie Maker winning lineups. This guy does it out of nowhere. It's tough to predict when it's going to happen, but when it does, he wins you a shitload of money on DFS because he just goes crazy.
I would look at Atlanta this week.
I like it. All right, I'm on board. All right, next we've got your boy Carson Wentz and the Commanders heading out to Dallas, taking on the surprisingly good without Dak Prescott Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are 3.5-point home favorites and 41.5-point total on the game, cousin. And the Cowboys are playing well. Cooper Rush, fine.
He stinks, Cooper Rush.
He's not good, but like the Cowboys as a team are playing all right.
Yeah, I mean they beat. I mean, I thought they were the less worst team against the Giants. I will say this: I don't think the Cowboys are dead. I think they need Dak back. I don't get the whole Cooper Rush is better than Dak. I think
who's saying this? Is this a thing?
Yeah, I think it's nonsense.
Come on.
Here's what I love about. Here's what I always hate the Cowboys, just FYI. But what I love about this particular team and why I think they'll win the game, and I would buy the hook, is I look at Micah Parsons, and I just see him really torturing Wentz. Wentz got tortured by Jonathan Gannon and the Eagles last week, something that I really thought would happen. I think I told you I loved the Eagles last week, and I thought that they would torture Carson Wentz, and they did. And I see more torture coming this week because Lawrence can get to the quarterback. You saw that against the Giants. Micah Parsons is a freak, and Carson Wentz holds on to the ball. His line is not good. I like Dallas. Except I can't lay 3.5. I would buy the hook and lay the 3, but make it minus 130 and lay the 3.
I'm with you here as well. I like Dallas. Wentz is good against very bad defenses. That's his thing. He can, if you don't pressure him, he actually plays all right. Detroit, the teams they beat early in the season, they're not good defensively. They're just bad. You put him up against, actually, we talked about this last week. You put him up against the Eagles, pressure on the quarterback, quality cornerback play as well. Man, he melted like a cheap ice cream cone.
And in fairness to him, I mean, he didn't have a lot of time, but that's what he is. He's the guy who holds on the ball, trying to play hero ball. I would take over sacks again. I think Dallas gets sacks. I think Dallas defense is live for certain things to make plays happen. So I would look at Dallas again. I think Dallas wins the game. And by the hook, you never lay 3.5.
There we go.
Plus, it is Cooper Rush, too.
Yeah. They're just going to run. I mean, I think they're just going to run the football, and that should be enough to get it done at home. All right, let's talk another NFC East team. Not a game, but a team here. Giants at home taking on the Bears. Man, these two teams, they both stink. Let's keep it real. They stink.
Yeah, they do.
They stink.
I'm going to tell you this. The Giants got a coach. Brian Daboll is a terrific, terrific coach. It's apparent how well coached they are. He's got them playing above who they are. I like the Giants in the game. I think Daboll's a home run. He just needs a roster to go with, his abilities, and he's building the right way. For now, I'll take the Giants over the Bears.
Yeah, easy breakdown. Bet for you? Bettable?
I mean, I wouldn't force it, but I would bet them. Like to me, they would be well. I like them. There's a couple games that you can get short money lines, and maybe you want to parlay, have some fun with it. Because I think Dallas, I think Minnesota, they both have short money lines, and I think Giants.
Yeah, maybe a little parlay. Get away from that 3-point spread and just pick winners. I like it. Yeah. Both running backs in that game very exciting. Khalil Herbert, chalk week. That game is actually going to produce for a 39-point total. That game has some interesting fantasy prospects because whoever the wide receivers are for the Giants, we're not quite sure. I think it's Richie James, but they're cheap and interesting DFS plays as well there. And I like some overs on those Giants pass catchers.
Now you got to check the weather, man, because of the hurricane.
Oh yeah, could be here in New York. We'll have to see. Absolutely, have to see if that's going to affect anything. Speaking of the area, so your beloved Philadelphia Eagles, NFC contender this season, maybe I'm going to say a top contender to be the NFC representative to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a little early to be talking that, but
no, I'm allowed to. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I love what I'm seeing out of the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, by the way, leveled up. Like, I don't know. Did he eat a mushroom? I don't know what this guy did. How is he so much better over the offseason? He got better.
He did, man. He really, really did. A couple things. One, I got to tell you, he's a tireless worker. So he worked a lot on his delivery, all right, which was a huge thing over the summer. He worked out with a new all specialist, you name it. I mean, he just did such a great job, hard working. But what I love about what he's doing now, and the reason why he's having success is it's his second year in the system. He's smart. He knows where to go with the football, right? Like you could see him, his progressions are there. So, it's one thing that he's got a little zip on his ball, right? Like he works hard. He's a leg thrower, so he's been able to get, improve his velocity on certain throws, which is great. But everybody, I talk about Tom House all the time. That's the guy he works with. He works out with all the quarterbacks. Tom House has had a great impact on him. But it's upstairs. Listen, he's a coach's kid. It's the second year in Sirianni's system. He gets it. And when you have that protection, he's got the best offensive line of football. He might have the best receiving tandem in football in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert is his tight end.
Finally utilizing it, too. It's so beautiful to see.
It is. So when you couple all that together, and it's his second year, he knows where to go with the football, and you can see him making his going through his progressions, making his pre-snap reads, being decisive with the football. Jalen has been fantastic. NFC Player of the Month, as you know. All that said, this is a tight game. I think it's a tight game. I would not bet this game.
Oh.
We got weather issues here. It's going to rain. It's going to be kind of windy. Doug Peterson coming back is a big deal. He wants to win bad. I think Lawrence is the best quarterback that they're going to see so far. I like Lawrence better than Cousins. I think because he can move a little bit. He's Peterson's perfect for him. And after that Urban Meyer disaster last year, I think it's a tight game. I think it's a sweat. I think the Eagles win, but I think it's probably by a field goal.
Not ready to lay the 6.5. I love that take. The Jaguars have been shockingly good. They're shocking teams everywhere. They're not just winning. They're blowing decent opponents out.
Well, the Chargers. I mean, now again, you take it with a grain of salt because of Herbert.
But, I mean, the Colts the week before blanked them. This is a real team. They're a real team.
The Colts without Pittman.
Yeah, but I'm saying
no
circumstances aside, got to put it where it's due. So all that I say with those when those things start to pop up, we have this preconceived notion in our mind that the Jaguars kind of suck, right? Like that's a preconceived notion. They sucked last year. They weren't good. A terrible coach. Everybody looked horrible on the team. So we have this preconceived. So what I'm trying to allow my mind to do and what I like to do is, listen, let's believe our eyes a little bit and say, hey, man, these guys are blowing people out. They're not as bad as we thought. I don't know if they're great.
I think they're a good team, man.
Yeah.
I do. I like them. I like them a lot, actually. I think they're a team on the come.
Next game, hide your wife's best friend because Zach Wilson is back leading the Jets on the road at Pittsburgh, taking on the Steelers. Hide your girlfriends. Hide your wives and their friends. Zach's in town, and he loves the MILFs. We know this. His mom's a hottie, too. I'm not going to say any more about it, but I've seen her.
Oh, yeah? You got eyes for Mrs.
I got
Wilson.
Mama Wilson eyes, man. She's got an Instagram. I follow it. I'm a follower. All right. So
you like her girlfriend too, like he does?
I don't know who the girlfriend was. I never saw that one. Maybe if she got some hot friends, but I don't know which one it was. But there's a lot of good choices out there for Zach.
I can see you and all the White Claw women out there. You and the hard seltzers. I can see it, man.
I don't drink a hard seltzer, but I distribute them.
I know you do.
Give them out.
First of all, who should drink them? Nobody should drink that anyway.
It's gross.
Right, but you'll pimp them out, man. That's what you are.
Cocktails.
By the way, pour one out for Coolio. I told you that earlier.
Oh.
Thursday, buddy. Our man.
I don't even want to, like, what the hell? He's having a heart attack? Like, what's going on out there? He's not that much older than us, cuz.
I know. Hey.
Love Coolio.
It's Geek's paradise.
Yeah. Gangster's paradise.
Geekster's paradise.
The Geekster's paradise. You don't want to go. You don't want to be in that paradise. All right. So Jets heading out to Pittsburgh. Let me tell you something. This kid, Zach Wilson, missed the whole preseason. No practice, nothing going on. He's out banging hot chicks all the time. I get it. I would do the same thing if I was an NFL quarterback, but he's not practicing the games. Now he's back. This is a tough spot on the road at the Steelers. Steelers missing, key defensive players, but who cares? They're at home. I don't like it at all for the Jets, at all. But I'm not sure that the Steelers have enough offense to beat anybody by 3.5 points either, which if I had a second, there's no way I'm touching the Jets. No chance. On the road.
Forget that game.
Yeah, this is a gross game. Yeah. Really, it's. I wouldn't touch the Jets. I don't hate the Steelers. I don't hate the Steelers, but I'm giving a few too many points to be comfortable.
You can't lay points with Trubisky either.
No. So. All right, Buffalo, Baltimore. This is an exciting game. The game of the week, really. Buffalo on the road, taking on the Ravens, two potential AFC contenders, Super Bowl contenders, maybe the best two contenders right now. I mean, it's week 4. We don't know. But these two teams look like the best two teams in the AFC. Baltimore, not the best of defenses.
You think?
Not the best.
I mean, they've gotten riddled. Look, Lamar's playing great football, incredible football, probably the best in the AFC through 3 weeks, except for Josh Allen, who should have won last week because they put up, 400 and whatever many yards against Miami, and the Heat got him a little bit at the end, a couple squandered opportunities. I love Buffalo in this game. To me, the Bills are going to be an auto play up until middle of the year.
Totally agree. I think you bet the Bills.
They're auto play. Play them to week 10, and you'll be 7-3.
Give the 3. Baltimore is good, but when you're below average defensively, you're going to have trouble with Baltimore. I think Stephon Diggs does his thing. One interesting little note on Buffalo for player prop purposes, Devin Singletary may be sliding back into that role he had at the end of last season where they just were like, screw these other assholes. This is our guy, right? They start off the season like Moss and James Cook and all these names. Now they're like, you know what? Let's just give it to Devin. At least they did that last week. So we saw it last season. It happened towards the end of the season, but then Devin Singletary went on an incredible run of productiveness. So when this first hits, we want to be slamming the overs on receptions, on total carries per game, because I think they may be going towards this concept of making Devin Singletary their prime guy. But yeah, I love Buffalo in this game. I'm laying the 3, and it's one of my favorite bets of the week. All right. Arizona at the Cardinals. At Carolina, at the Panthers.
I don't know. I'm worried about McCaffrey's health. Normally I would tell you, Carolina last week, I told you to go back to them one last time, and they won. I can't tell you this week. I don't like Arizona a little bit, but I don't like the way this Carolina offense looks. And with McCaffrey, Gimpy, I'm afraid of that game.
Even before McCaffrey, I'm going to let you know, I already bet this game early in the week plus 2.5 because I couldn't understand why Arizona is getting points against the Panthers. What has changed in the landscape of the National Football League? Arizona's considered a good team. Carolina considered a bad team. And yet,
I don't know how good Arizona is, though.
That might be it. That's
why I'm telling you I wouldn't bet the game, because I look at Arizona and I'm not in love with them. They can't protect Murray, and their defense isn't that good.
Murray needs to run around a little bit more like he was doing. He hasn't had the rushing stats.
You need to make sure before you start to back teams, make sure like Denver, right? Like Denver's offense is really in trouble. Russ does not look right. Nope. There's certain areas. Like I look at Arizona's defense. I don't like their defense. I'm not in love with their line. I think they're better than Carolina. So I can't back Carolina, But to me, this is no play. All day, no play.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Arizona. I don't mind it
Well, you
because
bet it, right?
yeah, I already bet it, so I'm sticking with it. I'm not going away from it. I got an extra point compared to what the line is right now, but primarily I just think Carolina is not very good. And if Christian McCaffrey is going to be banged up at all, which it looks like, they get even less good. Baker Mayfield, he stinks.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. He ain't good. I hear you.
It's like too many years of sample size at this point. We can't keep giving him breaks. Yeah. All right. A blowout potential game here. Brian Hoyer potentially at the helm for the Patriots. They're at Green Bay. 9.5 point under. You don't see the Patriots 9.5 point underdogs against anybody.
No.
I don't like laying that at all. I'm gonna tell you, I ain't doing it.
Not this early in the league. You never do that, and you don't do it against Belichick. I mean, obviously it's Packers or nobody. You're not going to back New England, so to me, this is a no play as well. If you want to tease it down, I get that because I could see Green Bay winning by a touchdown or whatever. Because you take it down to 3.5 if you want, but I don't even like doing that. You're not taking it past the football number. When you do a teaser, you got to be doing it from 8.5 to get it below the field goal, right? Threshold. Yeah. So, but I'd stay away, but it is Packers or nobody.
Yeah, this is a do not touch game all day. The Packers don't play a fast enough game to even, they have to basically completely stop the Patriots, and the Patriots will run the football. And by the way, if they're having success, they will be close in this game.
I agree.
They don't need a quarterback. I think this is an overreaction. I don't like it.
I agree.
If I had to bet, I'm not touching this game. I would actually bet the Patriots if I had to bet it. If you're forcing me, I would bet the Patriots side of it.
All right. I say don't bet it.
Yeah, better no bet. I agree. All right. Denver, Las Vegas. You just talked about Russell Wilson. I don't know what's going on.
I love the Raiders. I love the Raiders all day long. They're not an 0-3 team. They're going to win. They're going to win by more than 2.5. I love the Raiders all day long. I think this Denver team is poorly coached. I think Russ has got real issues right now. They gave a lot of money. It's a bad spot right now. I love the Raiders. I take the Raiders to win the game, and they're going to win cover.
Couldn't agree more. You just said it. Russ ain't right. Nathaniel Hackett, I don't know what the hell this guy's doing out there, making bad coaching decisions. Like, what are you doing? Right. So I don't like one bit of that. A reminder, everybody, if you like what we're doing here over at Sharp, make sure you check out the Sharp app where all these bets, I put them in. You can follow them along with the Cuz, and make sure you like and subscribe to this channel if you want to hear these breakdowns every single week. It's really important. Like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments who your favorite bet of the week is. Who do you love? Who's your pizza bet this week? Which team are you super confident in? Hit us up in the comments section below. Let us know. We'll call you out next time.
The pizza bet is sacred. All right. Pizza itself is sacred.
By the way, we're in the right neighborhoods for pizza. Pizza is a special thing.
It is.
Philly. Where's my cheesesteak? You're supposed to send me from your sponsor. I'm waiting for it.
Angelo's.
Angelo. I need
that. You want my Philip steak?
Get me a Philip steak.
I'll get you a Philip steak.
You don't think I want a Philip steak around here?
I get you a Philip steak.
I got, what?
They said you had Angelo's pizza and a Philip steak.
I have to go to Subway to get a cheesesteak.
No, don't do that.
They don't even have the Whiz over at Subway. You get American cheese.
Don't do that.
That's no Whiz.
That's not a Philadelphia steak sandwich.
I'm kidding. There's just as bad. It's not even better than Subway what we get around here. Yeah. Shame on them.
Listen, New York's got good pizza, but they don't have the roll, the Philadelphia roll. It's the water, right? The roll is key.
I put it on a bagel. You know how we do.
You do the great bagels.
I put my cheesesteak on a bagel. A little everything bagel.
It's a pizza bagel. We're a pizza bagel.
All right. We've got. I love it. I love the Raiders. I love the confidence. Fuck Russ and his shitty play. Ciara messing with his head. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He's awesome, and now he's not good. It's gonna turn around.
He's having trouble moving. That's what I'm worried about. He don't look like he needs. Again, his superpower is being able to move. That's his
Yes.
superpower, and
You
he
know,
can't move.
Thrown on the run, and apparently what the Seattle brass, for whatever this is worth, I don't trust a word they say, is saying is like, well, they felt like Russ getting older, less mobile. They didn't want to keep him around. They felt like his style doesn't really work as a pocket passer. I don't know if I agree with it,
I
but
do.
you do? Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll find out. Denver also, they haven't made great decisions at quarterback, so who the hell knows what these guys are up to. All right, we're on to Sunday night.
Okay.
And this is like,
let me just take over. All right, because this is my game of the day. I love this game. Now it's
I hope we're on the same side.
It's Chiefs at Tampa. Now here's the thing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now you get Evans back, and people go, "Oh, they're going to get Evans back. It's going to be a different story." They played Green Bay tough at the end. They came back. Remember, because Green Bay was rolling that game. They get a pick, but otherwise it's 21-3 and it's blowout city. But they still can't do anything offensively. They can't protect Brady, and it's great to get Mike Evans back, but Brady's not going to have time, and he's not going to have time because who's the defensive coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs? What does he like to do? What's his record against Brady? Other than the one playoff game, he has owned Brady. And one of the things that he does is A-gap pressure. And he's going to be down up just like in the Titans. Blitz all night. And that's what's going to happen. And Brady's going to be on the ground a lot. He's going to get hit a lot. He's not going to be happy. And people are going to go, oh, the GOAT, Sunday night, the GOAT. I'm telling you, the Chiefs will win this game and win by double digits.
I love it. I'm so happy we're on the same side. It's weird. Where's our Butler bet where I'm on the other side? We're on the same side of this one. I don't even understand. Some of these lines, I saw this line and I went, are we, what? Who is making this? Like, the Bucs can't score. The Bucs superpower, by the way, is their ability to stop the run. You know what Kansas City doesn't give a shit about doing? Running the football. They don't even care.
Now,
they
listen,
don't even try.
And you got Kelsey's gonna have a big day. They're gonna. I love this game. The matchup. Tampa can't keep up with Kansas City, and their defense is good, but it's not a great defense. And I know what Spags is going to do. I can get in his head. He's a friend of mine. I know what he's going to do. I can hear it. I've been following him for 25 years. All right, since he was in Germany at the World League, dialing up blitzes. He's a Jim Johnson. He's got the same blitz concepts. He's going to attack.
I'm going to ask you at the end because I've got a 100% profit boost bet.
Okay.
It needs to win. So we're going to go over your favorites at the very end. We got one more game, and I want to know which of those I should put the boost on.
All
right. But let's go to the last game of the slate. The Rams. I love this game too. This is another one I really like. The Rams at the 49ers. Jimmy G and the 49ers. Team levels up. Unfortunate ankle injury for Trey Lance. Fucked up all my fantasy teams, by the way. I had a lot of Trey Lance.
Yeah, I don't know how good he was going to be, to be honest with
you. Not sure. Now I've lost all confidence, by the way. These are dynasty. I have no confidence in him anymore.
Done. I like the Rams. In the
game. Yeah. I love the Rams in this spot. Rams are getting 1.5 at San Francisco. San Francisco's not a team I love betting against with Garoppolo at the helm.
It's an overreaction. I think the same thing too. I think people think the Rams are there's something wrong with them. And listen, I know that they have some O-line issues. I love the Rams all day long. Give me the Rams. I think they win the game. It's the same thing. I don't think they can keep up with them.
I agree. I mean, offensively, the Rams are great. 49ers, not much going on at the running back position right now. But, this is a scary one to bet. I'm not sure I want to put that in the big bets category for the week. As the more I think about it, San Francisco is decent with Jimmy G. If this was Trey Lance, I think I'd be more excited about the Rams.
I agree with that. I feel pretty confident, though.
You like this one? Okay.
I like the Rams.
All right. So to recap, the big bets from Anthony G for the week.
All right. Kansas City is my best bet. I love Kansas City. I love them to hit Brady. I think Brady's going to get frustrated. I love the Chiefs all day long. I'll take them by double digits. I like Minnesota. I like the Raiders.
And the Falcons. Falcons,
Yeah,
big bet,
I mean,
medium, not the big one.
yeah, I go medium.
All right.
Kansas City XXL. The other ones are L's. The large bet Raiders, large bet Vikings, medium bet is my
Get the Falcons,
Atlanta.
Dallas, and the Giants as fun add-on plays. I love it. This was like I feel like the Dolphins after week 3. I got my boy back.
I think we're gonna do good. I think we're gonna do well.
We're
gonna plus money it like we always do.
We're gonna crush it. Excited to have the show back. Excited to have the Cuz back. Freaking superstar, the hustle, star of stage, screen, everything. Spectacular.
I gotta go give Adam Sandler my picks now.
Oh well, hell, you text him. You texted him the picks, right? He's like, "Yo, what we got this week?" I know it's happening. I know that goes on. All right, guys. Remember, like, subscribe. We're gonna be back every week with the drive on Fridays, breaking down these games. We're gonna get as much Geek and Cuz as we can cram down your throats. Make sure you're tuned in. You're checking it out, and we'll see you guys next time with another Wise Guys. Good luck this weekend, everyone.